What's up, guys? Ben here, Tactical Nutrition, and I got a different look, as you can't tell here. I've been getting a lot of sun in North Idaho, which is where I live, despite the Green Bay Packer hat. You only have a couple of months of really good weather, so I really get outside and get sun as much as I can, and it's healthy for you anyway. So I want to do a mindset video here today because, while we're focusing on nutrition and fitness, the mental aspect of all of this is the foundation of everything. And so what do you do when you don't feel motivated? So I know there's a lot of motivational speakers out there. I listen to many. I've listened to so many that I almost don't listen to them anymore, because you'll get to that point where you've heard the information, you know it needs to be done, and you end up consuming way too much content. That's as important as of a topic as any these days. So I'm already consuming a lot of stuff, right? And I do encourage you guys to read books. I know it's a long lost skill these days because everything's digital. People have the attention span of a goldfish. So if you can get a book, even if it's a fiction book, like I've been into fiction lately, nothing like Lord of the Rings-ish, but a lot of Michael Crichton, a lot of Stephen King, polishing off some of the books I haven't read in a while. Read Jurassic Park, the original. And they're usually a lot better than the movies, by the way. I had read that before when I was a kid, but I decided to do it again. So what do you do when you don't feel motivated when it comes to this health and nutrition stuff, right? And I'm going to break it to you, more often than not, you're not going to be motivated. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline is far superior. Discipline is hard, to quote Jocko Willink, who wrote, Discipline is Freedom. I like the way he speaks on his videos because he's kind of a meathead. He doesn't overthink things. He just kind of goes. He's kind of exactly what you'd imagine as he was an ex-Navy SEAL, pretty much a commander. Or maybe not the supreme commander, but anyway, he led people into battle. And so he's kind of like a very strict, regimented type of person. And so on his podcast, they'll ask him, how do you stay disciplined? And he's like, well, discipline is hard because discipline is hard. And you hear it and you're like, you're taking notes, and you expect, I've been to a lot of seminars, dozens and dozens for my nutrition company as well. I've heard a lot of great speech. I've learned a ton about different things. You should surround yourself with successful people that are trying to lead you in the right direction, and not a lot of this crap that we see. I feel sorry for you. I'm kind of bouncing off some tangents, but I will get to the point of this. My advice and experience with how to deal with motivational loss. I didn't feel motivated to do this video. But, so what was I going to say? So I feel sorry for the younger generation, 18, 19, 20 years old. I'm 40, so I'm not old. Although if you're 25, you feel like 40's old. Trust me. Keep yourself in good shape, and I could still outperform most people of any age, honestly. But, anyway, so I feel sorry for the younger generation right now because, you didn't grow up without social media and cell phones. I was in college. I was on Facebook the first day it came out. It was only for college students. I was in college, and it was so much better There was no ads. You could actually, it was like, wow, I can see what my friends are doing across campus, and you see pictures from people from their parties. It was actually useful. It was actually very useful as a networking tool. You could just keep up to date with how everything was going without having to physically walk across campus, because literally this was flip phone. So the first smartphone didn't come out until I was like 26 years old. The Droid, the first app, first one where you could type quickly, and let's say, like, you could customize the screen and put your widgets on there and all this stuff that a lot of people take for granted now. But the point of this rant is, and I'm going back to reading books, is that our attention spans have been shot, and the people that are actually like out there to teach you actual skills, it used to be a small number. Now you've got this just never-ending stream of bullshit online. Most of these people are full of shit. A little bit of it is jealousy, I'll say that, because it does make you feel a little bit of tinge of jealousy when you're actually out there to like help people, actually help people with like real life skills like this channel. I'm trying to give you guys real nutrition, fitness, and health information that you can like put into your daily use to not fall into the traps that a lot of people do. But a lot of these people on there now are just like, they're using AI. I see people on Instagram. This will be a meandering video, but trust me, it will wrap back into motivation, because this all has to do with dopamine, and dopamine and motivation go hand in hand. They're inversely related. The more dopamine hits you get, the less motivation you will have. That's just the way it works. So while motivation is fleeting, you can create more flow state, more motivational times by reducing the dopamine hit. And when you're on social media and these people on there now, these coaches, that word has lost all meaning, as far as I'm concerned. Because I used to call myself like a coach, a health coach. But now, like, I see people on there that they say they're like the world's #1 coach, and they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. But they know how to manipulate social media and use AI to generate viral videos and get like 500,000 subscribers on Instagram. YouTube, not so much. But Instagram, especially Snapchat. Now, Snapchat's just I would stay far away. It's basically like softcore porn. That's where you see the real pathetic people, mainly women, let's be honest, doing their weird little dances. And then, like, I mean, every once in a while it'll pop up, like, because I do try to use Snapchat to, like, and I think I'm tactical nutrition fit. I don't use it a lot. Basically, whatever I post on Instagram, on my stories, I just try to post a Snapchat just to kind of see what the response is. But then I get sucked in, and next thing you know, there's some like 20-year-old girl doing her little, and that's the video, and you're just like, what just happened? What? I can't get that 5 seconds left, or I can't get that 5 seconds back in my life. But she was hot. Obviously, that's why I watched it, because if she was a big fat whale, it wouldn't have worked out. But anyway, the meandering continues. This was a spur of the moment video. But this all has to do with motivation, because when it comes, wrapping back to the main point of the video, when the more dopamine hits you're getting, the less motivated you'll be. It's already hard enough to be motivated. Sometimes you feel like you're in that flow state. You know, you wake up, you got a lot of energy. For whatever reason, you slept really well. It's beautiful weather. Everything's going well, particularly maybe like you just made a bunch of money, or, you know, you just met a new girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever's going on, you know, or something happened and like you're drinking your coffee, or in my case, my tea mixture, tea and liftoff mixture, and you're like kind of rushing around the house, and you know, you're eating healthy foods, you're eating fruit, you're eating, you know, you're snacking on fruits, you're meal prepping. I got chicken in the oven, I got rice, you know, like you're leaning up, you're feeling good, right? You feel like that, and you want to get into that flow state more often than not. And then what happens, next thing you know, you are scrolling Instagram or scrolling Facebook or scrolling Snapchat, or worst of all, TikTok. And then you're endlessly binge watching YouTube. And it's all meant to sucker you in. It's all meant to sucker you in. That is like, and that's what people are getting really, really good at it. Like really good. A lot of these people have like teams, and like the whole point is to keep you locked in as long as possible. That's the whole point of like Instagram. I hype on Instagram because that's where I post most of my like workout content and direct message people about programs and things like that. But I actually like doing YouTube better because people are a little bit more attention span. They're looking to learn a little bit more on YouTube. But so here's the crux. Going back to what Jocko said about discipline is hard because discipline is hard. What you have to do is think long term, right? You don't think of the instant gratification. Like, and I know if people have heard this before, but it's like you'll set a goal like, hey, I want to get lean and ripped and be healthy. And let's say you're like overweight and you're not healthy, and you're on these medications and you got a long way to go. It's easy to get, you get excited for like 3 days, you go to the gym, you eat healthy, and then what happens is you fall off because you're not motivated. You're like, oh man. You wake up early, you're sore, maybe you are a little under the weather, you didn't sleep all that well, so there's a lot of sleep problems, so you're tired. You're supposed to go to the gym, but you hit the alarm clock, you hit the snooze, you start checking Snapchat or TikTok or whatever it is, right? First thing in the morning. You don't get outside, so now you're under fluorescent lights, and you miss your workout. And then you feel guilty about it, and you say, well, I'll go again tomorrow. And then the macaroni and cheese and the donuts and the Twinkies and Ho-Hos and the Moo Moo chocolate milk with like 90 grams of sugar comes out the woodwork. And this will happen to people. Nobody's perfect. I don't get that bad, but I've had times where I screw it, I order a whole Papa John's pizza and eat the whole thing because I'm just that hungry and trying to gain weight, make excuses about it, right? Try to justify the behavior. But the best thing I want to tell you guys is it's going to be hard, and every day is going to be like a new challenge. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. Even if you fell off, you just have to you got to get up and go through the motions. And what will happen is you will build momentum. But it's a daily grind. There's always something out there trying to vie for your attention, right? For instance, when I make videos or when I'm reading a book or when I'm doing things like that, anything that I'm doing, writing an article, researching a topic, I put my phone on airplane mode, and I've had people be like, why don't you answer your phone? And I tell people, look, I'm not at your beck and call. You have to set boundaries. If it's an emergency, shoot me a text. Say, hey, this is really important. Okay. Right? If it's a family member, I'm more likely to answer. But people are going to think that you're there, that you're 100% like one of these call centers in India that they can just call up any hour of the day or night and that you're going to answer. easy to put on music, which is fine. But next thing you know, you're putting on crappy ass hip hop music or whatever it is, and it's throwing your mood off. It's vying for your attention, and then you're like, well, I'll just check Snapchat real quick, and blah, 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 blah. So eliminating these things, eliminating things that are really holding you back is crucial. It's almost like I've heard a good quote that success is more about subtraction. It's not about like constantly doing more, adding more. It's about streamlining and cutting things out. So I've heard it be called monk mode. People will call it. You got to say no to people. You want to go out to the bar tonight? You want to go to this party? All these hot chicks are going to be at this party. Do you want to? No. I'm on a mission here. I'm trying to become the best version of myself. And being physicality is a huge part of that. You can't be the best version of yourself and be horribly out of shape and short-winded walking up the stairs, right? It's not everything, but physical health and fitness is incredibly important. And as you can tell, going out into society, it is a rarity. It's a rare thing. Most people are overweight, Most people are eating junk. I mean, you got to go against the grain. So, yeah, what do you do when you're not motivated? It's like, it's going to be a battle every single day. It's a new battle. Every single day, you're going to go through the same fire. You're going to burn what was you yesterday. You're going to have to go through different emotions. You're going to have to fight the demons. You're going to have to fight the resentments. You're going to have to go internally and find and battle all those things that have haunted you in the past, the guilt, the resentment, the feeling of, oh man, I'm not good enough, the negative self-talk, things like that. This is just part of it. This is why it's hard. That's why I have a lot of discipline for anyone that is able to keep on a very strict physical regimen. Even professional bodybuilders that a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's stupid. It's like, well, they still had the motivation, or not the motivation, they still had the discipline. Think of these heavyweight professional bodybuilders who work out every single day, never drink alcohol for the most part, most of these guys, never smoke cigarettes, but work out every day, even if they're taking performance enhancing drugs, whatever. They have more discipline than most people ever will. Right? They're meal prepping. You have to eat so much every single day, and they don't feel like it. I know what it's like to put on weight. You don't feel like it. That's half the battle. Is you're just like, oh, it's been 2 hours and I gotta eat again. Feels like I just ate. I got to have chicken, broccoli, and rice again. It's not easy, but you do it anyway. And the more that discipline is like a muscle. And the more you train it, the more you do what you don't think, even do what you need to do when you don't feel like doing it. That's really where the results are going to happen. So guys, that's about all I got to say in this video. That's about it. It's just, I hate to say it, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be daily battles, but think of it just second to second, minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day. Create a good day, create a good week, create a good month, and then all of a sudden it's a year. And before you know it, you're going to be in really good shape. And you're gonna be proud of it. And then the next day comes and you do it again. And you do it again. And you do it again. Because to put the last quote to your new life is gonna cost you your old one. It's a great quote. Your new life is gonna cost you your old one. You can't have it both ways. You can't party and drink and eat junk food and play video games and look at porn and scroll social media and go work out and eat healthy and get in good shape and sleep. Not going to happen. You got to choose one or the other. Choose the one that's going to be the quick, instant gratification, the Pornhub, the booze, the gambling, the TV, the binge watching on Netflix, the video games. You know, right now I could just do any of those things because of all the technology. Right? Or do you choose the hard path? It's like, I got to go to the grocery store. I need to find protein. I need to find healthy foods. I need to deal with all the assholes at Walmart shambling around. I don't like to shop at Walmart, but you know what I mean. And then you gotta prep it, right? You gotta cook it up. You gotta bake it. You gotta cook it. You gotta store it. You gotta eat it before it goes bad. Then you gotta go to work out. And you got to do the right things and not just waste your time and not just hop on the treadmill and run in place all the time. Lift weights, hit circuits, jump rope, learn how to do new things, hit the kettlebell, knowing that you're like, shit, I'm going to be gassed, right? That's how it always is when I start my warm-up. I know I said it at the end of the video, but a little bit more to say here. My warm-up is generally 15 minutes of jump rope. I started at 5 because it's hard to go 15 minutes straight. I started at 5, went to 10, then I went to 15, and now actually I had a weight vest, a 40-pound weight vest, and do 15. I usually don't do it straight through. I usually break it up into like 3 5-minute rounds, so to speak. But when I'm first doing it, I'm like, oh, this kind of sucks. The first 30 seconds, I really don't feel like I could just drop this thing right now and just get into the workout and, no. Pick the hard thing, pick the hard way, and lean into that. Because the end goal, the life you really want, the life that these social media personalities oftentimes pretend about, right, on Instagram. Like you'll see these, especially, I'm just picking on women because it's just such easy pickings. Like, oh, here I am in my bikini in France. In my bikini, I'm in India. I'm on the river in Vienna. I'm in Rome. Oh, look, we're on our boat out in the Bahamas. Because some rich dude is paying for it. Or their parents. They'll claim it's them, but maybe it's their OnlyFans. Who knows? But, if you really want that life, then you got to put in the work now. So, and that, I know that has nothing to do with like health and wellness, but it's just, it all conglomerates into the same thing. Whatever habit you're looking to do, and I'll focus on health, nutrition, and fitness here because it's a pinnacle. It's a foundation. It's a pillar. That's the word I was looking for. It's a pillar of everything else. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. Know it's going to be hard. Find the people who support you. I'll be here to support you. And just embrace the suck. All right, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.